I'm not threatening you. Say one more word, and that's 30 days. 30 days.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to Sovereign Citizens Hall of Fame with your boy TP. Today, finally, guys, we are going back into the courtroom of Judge Simpson for the preliminary examination for Mr. Daniel McGough. We've been following his case for quite a while, and they are finally at the point of having a preliminary examination. And some of you, I feel you have a confused look on your face because you may not know who Mr. McGough is. And if you don't, check out this clip.
So you're saying that I have to say the words, I understand?
Sir, I'm not saying that you have to say anything.
Okay.
You know what? Here's the thing. I am not going to play this game with you.
I'm not.
So what? No, you are playing a
I'm
game.
not.
So no, you are. And do not interrupt me ever again. Do not. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you a week to think about it, because I'm not going to sit here, call your case up 4 or 5 times for you to sit here and to go through this whole, try to play some semantical game. So I will adjourn this out to December 12th, 2024. I will adjourn it to 9 a.m. or I will. Do not interrupt me.
I can object to
do
that.
Do not interrupt. Do not. One more time. You're going. I've given you fair warning. I'm adjourning the proceeding out. If you are objecting to that, objections noted. It's still adjourned out to the 12th. Bond will continue. You
Your
may
Honor,
leave now.
I have constitutional.
You may
violation.
leave now.
Let's go.
I have a right to
You
a counsel.
may leave.
Do I not have a right to a counsel?
You want an attorney? You may get want an attorney, sir?
I need somebody to explain the problem here.
Do you wish to be represented by an attorney on this?
I do not need to represent myself. I'm presenting myself. I'm the only one that was there in this courtroom. No one was there. I don't recall anybody that was there that day. I'm the only one that knows what happened, Your Honor.
Do you wish
and I was
to be
violated.
represented by an attorney? I'm not going to sit here and argue with you. If you wish to be represented by an attorney.
Your Honor, I have constitutional violations.
Do you wish to be represented by an attorney?
You take an oath to defend the Constitution of the United States of
Then,
America.
if you do not want to answer my question, Mr. Allen, he is to be removed from my courtroom.
If you have not seen that proceeding or any of his previous appearances before Judge Simpson, I encourage you to go and check that out first and then come and check out this preliminary examination. This is actually going to be a 2-part proceeding because it is pretty long. So we're going to share part 1 today and share part 2 tomorrow. But if you haven't seen his previous appearances, I think you should, because it will show you why we'll be seeing some of the stuff we'll be seeing today, his relationship with Judge Simpson, all of that stuff. I'm telling you, you don't want to miss it. But with that being said, I'm ready to finally jump into this and see what Mr. McGough is talking about, see what Judge Simpson is talking about, see what the witnesses are talking about. So let's go ahead, guys, and jump into this proceeding.
All rise. The 14A District Court for County of Washington, State of Michigan is back in session. The Honorable Judge Simpson presides.
You may be seated. All right. Court does call the case of the people versus Daniel McGough.
Echelon for people.
State your name, sir. All right, Mr. McGough. As with every proceeding, I do have to advise you that you are before the court on a charge of resisting and obstructing a police officer. As we have been through it before, I'm not going to ask you to acknowledge any of this. I think that you understand what I am indicating. That is a felony punishable by up to 2 years incarceration, $2,000 fine plus court costs. I would apprise you have elected to represent yourself in this matter. There are indeed perils with representing yourself. I will also advise you that you held to the same standards as anyone else conducting a proceeding before this court, whether it be with regard to evidence, the rules of evidence, the rules of procedure, and the like. And court is not going to show you any favoritism. I'm not going to treat you better or worse than either side. If, as indicating, you're elected to represent yourself, if at any time you wish to be represented by an attorney, could not afford to hire one, you have to inform the court of that. The court will assure that you will have counsel. All right. Are the people? Yes, sir.
Just, Your Honor, for the record, I'm not here on a general appearance. I'm here as making a special appearance. I do not, nor have I ever consented to the personal jurisdiction matter of the court. I'm here to specifically cross-examine my accusers. And then with that being said,
Well, let me just put it to you this way. This court has jurisdiction over you as a person. I also have jurisdiction over the subject matter of these proceedings. So while you may disagree, I think your position is legally insufficient.
I just wanted to notify.
Your position is legally insufficient and irrelevant to anything that we have to do right now. Am I clear? Thank you. Are the people ready to proceed?
We are, Your Honor.
You may call your first witness.
Thank you, Your Honor. With consent, that we will waive opening, and I will call Officer.
I don't waive opening, with what consent? What was that? You said with my consent, I didn't consent. What was that? I just asked some clarification.
You're not required to give an opening at preliminary examination, but if you'd like to, Ms. Lundy.
I do not choose to give an opening.
All right, very good. Thank you. All right, let me call your first witness.
Darnell Tyson.
Sir, please come forward to be sworn.
Your Honor, Michigan Rule of Evidence 615, I am at my request to ask the other officers that will be giving testimony against me. I asked that they leave the room.
Are you making a motion to sequester?
Yes.
In your response to the people?
No, Your Honor.
All right, witnesses that will testify are hereby ordered sequestered. Thank you.
I wasn't clear on what rule that was cited, but
Wasn't,
thank you.
but I got what he was getting at.
You sound to part of the testimony about be able to be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so we got. So. State, spell your first and last name for the record.
Darnell Tyson, DARNELLTYSON.
Thank you. You may inquire.
Thank you. Good afternoon, sir. How are you employed?
Ypsilanti Police Department.
And how long have you been employed in that position?
Since April of 20, well, once we passed, I've been on the road since April of last year.
April of 24? In what capacity are you employed by the Ypsilanti Police Department? A police officer? Were you working on October 11th, 2024?
Yes, ma'am.
What shift were you on that day?
Second shift nights.
What is nights?
6 p.m. to 6 a.m.
6 p.m. to 6 a.m. And what were you wearing that day?
My uniform, my family uniform.
Were you displaying your badge of office? Were you operating a patrol car or a passenger in a patrol car?
Yes, ma'am. How about her?
Did you happen to come into contact with anybody who's currently in the courtroom on that date?
Yes, ma'am.
Who was that?
He's
And can you tell me where he's sitting and something that he's wearing, please?
wearing a black suit. He's sitting at the table right behind you, right? Right.
Your Honor, may the record reflect the witness identify the defendant?
That objection record shall so reflect.
Where did you come into contact with him?
On Michigan Ave, I can't remember the exact address, but it's right behind Buffer Reds.
Is that in the city of Ypsilanti, county of Washtenaw, state of Michigan? And when you got to that location, do you recall about what time it was? Nighttime or daytime?
It was early morning.
Early morning? When you got to that location, what did you observe?
It was two people by a car. One was sitting by the front passenger tire and one was standing to his left over him.
Were either one of those people the defendant?
Yes.
Where was the defendant?
He was the person standing up next to the person that was sitting on the ground.
Who else was there when you were on scene?
Myself, Officer Smith, Sergeant Gibbs, Daniel McGough, and Officer Chief, and there was his friend, I don't remember his friend's name.
The person that was sitting by the passenger side of the tire was Mr. Magoo's friend?
Yes.
That's when you say his friend, that's who you're referring to? What happened when you got up to the area where Mr. Magoo and his friend were located?
We observed his friend sitting on the ground. We saw a case of open, I think it was seltzer waters and fireball on the ground. We walked over because we were dispatched to that area for a fight. The description we got of the people involved in the fight did not fit them. But when we saw the gentleman sitting on the ground, kind of slumped over, we just stepped over because we were just trying to see if he was all right.
So you said Fireball. Is that on something, is that a brand name something?
Alcohol.
Alcohol? What happened next?
We were just trying to get a clear understanding of what was going on. Cause like I said, we witnessed the guy who was sitting on the ground, kind of slumped over. So I presume that he might have been under the influence of alcohol, seeing that we had the seltzer waters and the fireball there. But we were just trying to see if he needed any medical assistance.
Would it be fair to say that Sergeant Gibbs took the lead a little bit when approaching?
Definitely.
After Sergeant Gibbs approached the two men, what happened next?
Sergeant Gibbs gave Mr. McGough a couple of directives. He asked him to step away. I believe he asked him at least 2 or 3 times to just leave. To which Mr. McGough did not. At that point, Sergeant Gibbs asked him to leave again. He did not. At that point, we went hands on for obstructing our ability to investigate what was going on with the gentleman sitting on the ground.
What happened after you went hands on?
We took Mr. McGough kind of around to where the car was. We put handcuffs on him. We walked him over to Sergeant Gibbs' patrol vehicle. At that point, after we were going to put him in the vehicle, we had to search anybody that, before we could put him into the vehicle. So as we were doing I wasn't doing a search. Officer Smith was. I was just there to keep control of Mr. McGough at that point.
In what way were you there to keep control of him? What were you doing?
I was holding him by the arm.
Where were you standing relative to where he was standing?
At first, while Officer Smith was searching him to the right, I was to the left of Mr. McGough. After he finished searching him to the right, we switched positions. I went to the right side, Officer Smith to the left.
So Mr. Magoo is currently facing a vehicle and you're standing behind him to his right or to his left, depending on what side of him is being searched.
Yes, ma'am.
What happened while Officer Smith was searching the defendant?
Mr. McGough made a couple other statements. I don't really know. I really don't remember what those were. I do remember he made a statement about dashing or scatting, which is kind of like implicating he might run. At that point, I put my arm through him and kind of held him up against the car.
Why did you do that?
Mentioned about running.
Why would putting his arm up and holding him against the car, why would you do that if somebody mentioned they might run? To keep him what?
To keep control.
To keep control. Okay, what happened next?
At that point, Officer Smith was searching the left side of him. He asked about, were you guys looking for a lottery ticket? He said, I didn't have anything in my pocket. At that point, Mr. McGough, he kind of flinched a little bit one time. So I put my arm up a little bit more just to gain a little bit more control. And then at that point, he kicked up with his right leg and caught me in the groin area.
His leg hit you in the groin area while you were standing behind him? And were you wearing a body worn camera on this night? Have you had a chance to review a copy of the recording from your body worn camera today?
Yes, ma'am.
Was it a fair and accurate depiction of the original recording and of what happened that night? Now I move to admit People's Exhibit 1, Darnell Tyson's body worn camera that has previously been disclosed to defendant in discovery. I'm going to be playing.
Any objection to its admission?
I object to we don't need to play the video. I would much rather-
Whether we need to play it. What is your objection?
My objection is I would like to finish hearing the testimony before we play the series of events that Mr. Tyson has already had time to review with himself.
Would the court like a response?
Objection is overruled. You may go ahead.
Thank you, Your Honor. And is the exhibit admitted?
Yes, exhibit's admitted.
Thank you. And with the court's permission, I'd like to play from the beginning of the video to about the 4-minute and 10-second mark.
All right, that's fine.
Object, what is the relevance? Why are we playing it?
What do you mean? What's your objection? You're saying that what's contained on the video isn't relevant? Hold on, can you?
I'm sorry, Your Honor, I'm sorry.
No, it's okay.
It just started.
What is
sorry.
your,
What is the relevance for Officer Tyson's testimony of this video? What are we, what? is
he
it?
has to lay the foundation regarding the video, which they've done. I've admitted it. If your objection is as to relevance, clearly what occurred that day is absolutely relevant and central to its issue in this case. So your objection to relevance is overruled. Ms. Lundy, you may proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor.
I'm sorry, what are we calling for? Please, what have you talked to him? Please, what are we calling for? So we're going to call that, what are we calling for? This is so no, yeah, that's not I'm telling you, I'm not thinking right now out here. Do you understand me? You think I'm drunk? Walk away. Here, walk away. No, I'm telling you that now, sir. You got no, no, she has nothing back. I just told you. Walk away. Walk away. All you have to do is walk away. Sit. Say that no sense. Okay, that's fine. All you have to do is walk away. All right? This is illegal. You can't do this. You understand that? Okay, I'm not talking. You don't get it. Put him in your car. Stand up. All right, put him in the back seat. Come on. You got to pull the signal, Harvey. Do you? Do you? I'll ask you one more time. What did you say? You let me nigga poke me, stick me on Harvey? So yes or no? All right. What are you looking for? A lottery ticket? No. Shut up, dog. No. Oh, it's scam? You looking for a lottery ticket? How about an iPhone? What you looking for? I'm looking at you. I'm not looking for nothing, but I need something. I'm looking at you. Shut up. Neil, what are you looking for? Shut up, dog. What are you not for? Yes, you are.
Officer Tyson, at any time did you give the defendant permission to assault you?
No, ma'am.
Did you at any time give the defendant permission to kick his leg back into your crotch?
Objection. I didn't see any physical harm. We did
Heard
show
the,
video.
I heard the testimony.
What was that?
What's your objection?
I object, we watched the video and you're trying to lay that there's evidence of harm. I've seen no harm. We watched it and not once was there.
What is your,
Ow?
what is your objection?
Huh?
Your
Perjury, that's my objection.
perjury? Seriously?
Yeah.
Overruled. Go ahead. Ms. Lund.
You're trying to confirm that it happened based off the video and it.
No, Mr. McGough, here's how it works. You don't address the prosecutor at all. You address the court.
I thought she was the trier of the case, Your Honor. You're the trier of facts.
I don't know what you're talking about.
She's-
What I have just instructed you is you will not address the prosecutor directly. Is there anything unclear about what I just said?
Yeah, fundamentally, I thought that you're the trier of the facts, Your Honor.
Is there anything unclear with what I have just said?
I'll try to understand what you're saying here. I'll try to avoid that.
Is there anything unclear about what I have just said? I'm going to give you one more shot to answer them. I need an answer, Mr.
Your Honor. You're telling me I'm not.
Thank you, Mr. Aaron. We're not to address the prosecutor. If you need to address the prosecutor, Mr. McGough, you can ask the court prior to your addressing, because I'm not going to have your behavior toward anybody in this courtroom. Understood?
I understand that.
Thank you. Ms. Lundy, anything further?
Ask the witness.
Cross-examination.
Hey, good afternoon, sir. Can you state your name and badge number for the record, please, just for my end?
Thompson, 39.
Thank you. What was your assignment on October 11th? Approximately 2:50 in the morning.
We're dispatched, like I said, to Michigan Avenue, around the bike.
And at that time, when you showed up to the, where did you, it was a parking lot? Public parking lot? Okay. At that time, did you ID anybody that was suspect to the dispatch that you were called to? No active fights? Do you remember the dispatch record, how they described the people? Was I an interference of any medical emergency? Was I in what was your reason for contact with me?
We got there, we saw a gentleman sitting on the ground. We saw alcoholic beverages that were open, and he was slumped over.
Okay, so alcohol, somebody's a gentleman slumped over, and then me. So what was your reason to engage with me?
Reason for coming up was not to engage you.
Oh, okay.
Actually, just to ensure that the gentleman sitting on the ground was okay.
Okay, so it was just a courtesy stop?
Objection, asked and answered.
Sustained.
In your words, would you say it was a courtesy?
Objection, asked and answered.
Sustained.
What is the objection?
Asked and answered.
Asked and answered. Did you suspect the gentleman on the ground that was laying slouched over? Did you suspect him of any crime?
No, sir.
Did you suspect me of any crime? Um, in that video, you heard Officer Gibbs, Sergeant Gibbs, I'm sorry. You heard him clarify that this was something different.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Um, was it my legal obligation to leave?
Objection, Your Honor. Calls for the ultimate conclusions to the question.
Sustained.
Ultimate conclusion. Can you cite any legal authority that would permit a public citizen to leave a public place?
Objection as to form of the question.
Sustained.
As to what? What was it?
Form of your question.
In form of your question?
The form of your question is
Okay,
improper.
okay. Under what law or ordinance was I required to leave?
Same objection as to the ultimate conclusion.
I'm trying to understand why the probable cause, Your Honor, as to why I was arrested. There's still no clarity. And that's what I'm trying to get at here today.
Well, not through that question. So I'll sustain the objection. You can give it another shot.
Can you define probable cause?
Objection to relevance.
Sustained.
Your Honor, the officer is infield officer. They have to be able to understand what probable cause here.
In what context are you talking probable cause?
Your Honor,
Your question is large and vague.
to define probable cause as an arresting officer.
Is it probable cause to arrest? Probable cause in terms of this proceeding? In what context do you wish to try to describe?
Probable cause to arrest me that night, or any reasonable articulated suspicion.
Ma'am,
You may.
it's actually two different things. The defendant was originally asking about probable cause to arrest, and then he revised it and said he's asking specifically about the probable cause to arrest him, which is not the question he asked. So my objection as it will continue.
I'll sustain the objection. I'll allow him to attempt to rephrase.
Your Honor, I'm trying my hardest to word this properly, so please, in efforts to get clarity here, I'm trying to. I'm trying to figure out under what authority is there when you knew that I wasn't a suspect to any crime
Authority to do what?
to arrest me.
So maybe we can get past this.
Yeah, I'm trying to.
An officer can arrest for a crime they believe or suspect was committed in their presence. That would be one basis. Based upon what I saw in the video, there would be a basis for that arrest, if that helps you at all. So you can go on to your next question.
Okay. Did I physically interfere with you at all?
Yes.
At what point?
Sergeant Gibbs asked you to walk away. We didn't ask you to leave, we just asked you to walk away.
You asked me to walk away. How far would have been a safe distance?
Objection.
Speculation.
Yes.
Sustained.
If I walked 5 feet away, would that have satisfied your order?
just asked you to walk away.
Yes or no? It would have satisfied your order? Okay. So until the time that I was arrested, what duties did I physically prevent you from doing?
We were to figure out what was going on with your friend. And because you were in it for like a week, walked up. We raised up. We weren't there. We were there for the gentleman sitting on the ground, appeared to be intoxicated. Based on the circumstances, we saw open alcohol and the fireball, which is alcohol, on the ground towards his feet.
So your duty was to safeguard my friend?
No, at that time, we were just trying to see if he needed any medical attention.
Are you a medical expert? Did I consent to your arrest?
Objection, speculation.
Sustained.
Speculation. When Sergeant Smith began searching me, did I show you any signs of hesitation, or did I feel like I was threatened? Did I show you any signs?
Objection as to the speculation of what the defendant thought. This witness can't answer what the defendant thought. The rest of the questions.
Did I do anything?
I'll overrule the objection. Let him answer it if he can.
Okay.
Did I do anything to make you feel like you were threatened after the arrest? So there was two vehicles, correct? Let me rephrase it. Sorry. There's two vehicles, right? The first vehicle is the one that the gentleman slouched over, correct?
Sorry.
Okay. You guys detained me up against that vehicle, right? Is that correct?
We weren't being detained. We were just moving you out of the way.
You were moving me out of the way with handcuffs?
We didn't have cuffs on you at that time.
What was the point of moving me out of the way? Okay. So at which point in time did you decide that the handcuffs?
We have to get control of somebody to handcuff.
Okay. So was I under arrest at this time? Just detained. Okay. During this time, did you guys ask for any permission to search me?
We don't have to ask for permission to search you. You're being detained at that point. Squad car has to be searched.
Do you know under what grounds that is?
Yes,
Is that
that is
public?
absolute, what he
That's
just described
police
is the
department?
law.
Your Honor,
He has,
there's several.
Mr. McGough, when an officer is detaining somebody, they have the right to do a pat-down search for any contraband or weapons or anything that might harm the officer or anyone around. That
Even if the
is
arrest is
the
unlawful?
law. That is the
I never
law.
consented to any of it.
Doesn't matter.
And we still don't have a crime that I've
It
done.
doesn't matter.
We're still trying to figure out a
It
crime.
doesn't matter.
What was the probable cause to arrest me on October 11th?
I would object as to timeline, because I want to make sure it's very specific. What time?
I'll sustain that objection because I think it's vague. You can rephrase the question so you can be more specific.
Under which action made it deemed necessary to arrest me?
You weren't under arrest at that time, you were just being detained.
If you were to think about the night, the whole night, what exact moment defined what I did that was unlawful?
Sergeant Gibbs asked you to step away. At that point, you were obstructing our ability to investigate what was going on with your friend.
And you didn't suspect him of a crime.
No. That wasn't, that was.
So what duties were you under at that time?
Because your friend appeared to be drunk, sir.
Is being drunk illegal?
If it would be intoxicated in public like he was.
Did you charge him with a crime?
Objection, relevant.
Sustained.
Trying to find a
Sustained. I don't need your response after my ruling. Next question.
You mentioned there was alcohol in the scene.
Yes.
Um, my friend was dispatched for high intox.
We weren't dispatched there.
I'm sorry. When the Huron Valley ambulance was dispatched to the parking lot where they were dispatched for high intox
Yes.
for my friend.
Yes.
Second, I will, Your Honor, along with the same body cam, of Officer Tyson here. I also have another. At which point did I strike you?
What's the honor?
It was what?
Within seconds of us putting you in the back of the patrol.
Okay. And I was put in the back of the patrol vehicle under, for what reason?
For assaulting the police officer.
Let me get this straight. So you first said that you were putting me in the back of the patrol car, which is why when the assault happened, but then you just said that I'm getting placed in the back of the vehicle because of the assault.
Object us to, this mischaracterizes the statements and evidence.
It does. It's also a compound question.
It is.
So
Looking for clarity.
I don't care what you're looking for. You got to ask the questions right. Her objection is sustained.
Let's try. Go play this video back.
Yes.
That's okay.
Do you have a?
What was that?
Is that what? Yeah, I think that's.
Yeah, I have it. It's an adapter. Yeah.
I don't know. You can give it to him. Let's see what the heck it is.
Okay. At this moment in time, Your Sergeant Smith is searching me.
Objection. That person's title is not Sergeant Smith.
This isn't Sergeant Smith.
No, it's not.
Who's this?
Oh,
Officer Smith. I'm sorry. Okay. Officer Smith here is searching me. At this point in time, is it your mission? Is it your goal to put me in the back of the patrol car?
yes, you're being detained.
I'm being detained in your patrol car. Okay. Let's get back forward. It's loud.
Yeah.
I can't even here, let me try here the other way. There it is, I got you. Sorry guys. At this time, have I assaulted you?
From this angle, I cannot tell.
The injury, where were you hit?
I was kicked in the front.
You were kicked in the groin? Was this when I was held up against the vehicle? Or wouldn't? Is that when?
So are you asking me, was I kicked while you were leaning up?
Yeah.
Yes.
So
No.
when you were forcing me up against the vehicle like this,
Yes.
you were okay. Did you hear that just now? Did you ever hear me say that I know I wasn't going anywhere?
That's irrelevant.
I'm just asking if you heard it. Listen. Did you hear that?
I did.
Okay. There was something else I mentioned, a lottery ticket. There was. Did you guys find a lottery ticket on me or anything?
No.
Did you find anything illegal on me?
Yes, you are.
So have I kicked you at this time?
I can't tell for the time.
Okay. But this time your body cam's still on. I was just told that I'm under arrest. Did you hear that?
I did.
Okay. But it wasn't for hitting you or physically harming you in any way. Is that correct?
You asked me, did I know if you kicked me? I told you from the angle I'm looking at it, I cannot tell.
You can't tell if I kicked you, right? But you don't know from the incident. Was it on the way into the back of the vehicle? Like the back seat? Or like that's what I'm trying to pinpoint. So right now the door just opened and I'm asking, what am I under arrest for? And we still don't have any like.
Is there a question? Sustained.
Is it your belief that have I struck you at this time?
Like I said, I can't tell from this angle that you showed me this video at.
Okay. Maybe now?
Yeah, I can answer that question based on the angle of the video.
Okay. Did you talk to anybody about your injuries?
I told my sergeant that I kicked in the front.
You told him, okay. At what point did you tell him that?
He turned around.
You turned around? Okay. So here we are at the just about where the prosecutor left off at the 4-minute mark. Still, we have not seen any from this angle, right? There's other angles.
Objection, or was that a question?
No, it wasn't a question.
It was not.
I'm not even paying attention to his extraneous remarks. I understand.
So here we are, still. You have not said anything to Sergeant Gibbs, correct?
I mean, when the camera hit the ground, I couldn't hear what was going on at that point.
Okay.
So, did you get home the wife? Oh, let's see that phone. Yes. What's your wife's name? Amanda. You're home, right? If your wife said you got a key to get in the house.
So you were planning on giving him a ride home?
Yes, we're gonna give him a courtesy ride home.
So you did not suspect him of any crime. You were gonna actually do him a gesture.
Relevance, Your Honor.
Sustained.
Clarifying.
Yes. You do have a key to get in the house. Can you show it to me? Yes. Can you show me the key? Yeah, see, that's not just a move, we have HVA, just high-end tops, because I can't even. Right here. High-end tops. High-end tops. This is the oh, yes, he. So, we'll charge him, one, interfering. So we charge all the means out, whatever, reasonable interfering. Get him over there. Did he?
So, real quick, and I'll cut it off right there. But at that time, it is your understanding that I'm only on arrest for, what was that? He said R&O?
Yes, resisting and obstruction.
Resisting and obstruction. Back to why I didn't walk away the 5 feet. Yep, thank you. Okay, so at this time, he's what would you call it? He's basically reciting the charges that he's what would you call that?
Objection, Your Honor. Relevance.
Sustained.
Okay. From my understanding, and I believe it is yours as well, correct me if I'm wrong, is this the point in time where you informed Sergeant Gibbs that you were injured?
I told him I was a kid.
Okay, you told him you were kicked. Let me back it up. So now this is the 7-minute mark, a good 5 minutes after my arrest.
He kicked me in the nuts, bro. He kicked you? Yeah, why do you think I got with him? I wasn't trying to do it. Oh, I know you. Right there.
So is it accurate to say that we can't define at which point you were kicked?
You know, I'm gonna, never mind.
Is that true?
Based on the angle of the video from my body cam, I can't tell you exactly when it happened. I know it happened. Because
Okay.
I was there.
You were there.
Yes.
Okay. Is that something is it a joke? Do you find it funny?
What are you asking? Find what?
Is being kicked in the groin funny?
What's the relevancy of that question?
Just a general question, yeah.
No. No, he's not going to answer that. You're not answering that question.
Okay. I'm trying. When the ambulance showed up, did you report these injuries to them?
Your Honor, objected. The witness has said repeatedly that he was kicked. I don't think he's ever said he was injured.
We're here on an assault charge, Your Honor.
An injury is not necessary to prove an assault.
I know.
I know you do. I'm just making the record. Excuse me, Your Honor, I apologize.
No, it's okay. I got it. So what is your question?
Did you
Did you
report
receive
these?
medical attention for being kicked?
No, sir.
All right, very good. Go on, move on.
Did you at any point tell any medical professional?
That would be medical attention.
No, not if.
Yes, it would be, because you would have to report it for it to happen.
Okay.
He's answered that question. Next question.
I just want to play this moment here. This is same camera.
I'm sorry, Your Honor, this appears to be in a medical.
What is this? What am I going to watch? Give me a
This-
proffer.
What is it? Give you what?
Tell me what I'm gonna see.
You're going to see Officer Tyson confess that he was joking about what he said
About what he said about what?
about me striking him.
Okay, that's it.
Let me drink it, man. It's the one at the bottom. Oh, 2191, that's his phone number. Yes, sir, that's just my way of not having already 734. What's up? Check before.
Wait, Your Honor, can we pause, please?
Pause it.
Your Honor, this is information not relevant to this defendant. This is a separate person's name and date of birth now that's being put out, that's not relevant to this. He has privacy rights that I did not play any portion of the video revolving him specifically to respect his rights to not be a part of this. He doesn't have to be. So I'm objecting to the playing of this. If we could get to the point of whatever the defendant is trying to put before the court, I'd really appreciate it.
It's coming right here, Your Honor.
Well,
And I would argue that Jacob Spaulding would be a key central figure since he's the reason I was detained in the first place.
yes, but that doesn't mean he's giving consent to have all of his stuff put out there. What are you? So where's the part about him joking?
He quite literally says it, Your Honor. And I have certified records that have been transcribed from a
Certified by whom?
by a certified Michigan court transcriber, but nevertheless, he's.
Well, if you're
he's present.
saying you have something that says that, because I did not hear that. So if you say have something that says, no, do not play over me when I'm talking. Stop.
I'm sorry.
Cut him off.
Okay.
No, we're not doing it that way, Mr.
Oh.
Magoo. You're playing by this court's rules. Plain and simple.
I'm trying to, Your Honor.
No, you're not. You're
Promise.
trying to play by your own rules.
Oh.
And it's not gonna, do not shake your head at me, because it's not gonna happen. I'm letting you know that now. Now, if you're claiming you have some certified transcript, where is it? And has it been turned over to the people?
It'll be submitted after I have a digital copy of it.
Have you submitted it to the people before
I
today?
just got it. No, I just got it. Same videos I had.
I don't even know how you're gonna, I don't even know how that gets in, but I'm not even gonna worry about that at this point. Go
Did you
ahead.
hear what was said?
Continue with your questioning.
Did you hear the part where you said you were just joking? What did you say? You told the ambulance that you were kicked in the nuts?
Yes.
And then what? Laughing? And at that time, in between that point where you said you got kicked in the nuts and you started laughing, did you hear the part where you said, "I'm just joking, haha, you got to deal with me for the rest of the night"? Okay. I'll be wrapping up right here, Your Honor. I just want to clarify. um, In your opinion, what justified the search and detainment of me that day?
Resisting and obstructing. He gave you directives to walk away, you did not.
To the gentleman that went away in the vehicle? Of obstruction. I was obstructing your medical evaluation? Because you at no point, you admitted that you had no point to plan on charging him with a crime. You guys were doing a great thing out there. You guys were helping him out. You guys were making sure.
Are you, is there a question?
I'm trying to clarify.
No, is there a question?
Yeah. At what point do your medical evaluation supersedes my personal rights to public space?
I'm objecting.
Hey.
That's relevant to that form.
Yeah, the form of the question, and that calls for a legal conclusion. So I'm going to sustain the objection.
Is there any witnesses? Did you guys get any witnesses on the scene
To what?
to all these crimes that I'm charged with? Is there anybody else on the scene that you guys talked to that put me on any kind of crime? What crime do you think I'm guilty of?
Oh my gosh. Objection.
Sustained. Sustained.
I don't speak legalese, Your Honor. I'm really trying over here.
Again, I don't need your satire. Just next question.
You said that you reviewed these tapes beforehand, these videos. Did you at all review that part of you speaking with the ambulance when they arrived? Did you at any time read me my Miranda rights? Before your arrest, you did not read me my Miranda rights.
I'm not urging you to go around if I'm gonna ask you questions. I didn't question you about anything.
No more questions, Your Honor.
Any redirect?
No, Your Honor, this one speaks.
Yeah, all right, your excuse, sir. Thank you. How many more witnesses do you have, Miss Lundy?
One.
One? Okay, I'm gonna take about a 10-minute break because I'm gonna need it, and then you can call your next witness. Court's gonna stand in recess.
All rise.
Well, guys, we have come to the end of this first proceeding. And as we can see, Judge Simpson is saying, listen, I need to take a break. Give me a 10-minute break. So this is where we're going to break our first part, and we will be sharing our second part with you guys on tomorrow. But I'm going to be honest with you. I mean, there's not really much to do commentary on here. I mean, I'm not going to lie. It was just kind of almost just super hard to just sit and just watch this questioning coming from Mr. McGough. He obviously still doesn't know what he's doing. I see certain points he's trying to make that may be good points, but because he doesn't know how to ask the questions or, frame the questions in a way where the court is pleased with it, it's just not working out for him. So hopefully that second part will be, it won't be as excruciating to sit through as this one. But who knows when it comes to Mr. McGough and Judge Simpson. As we can see, as always, Judge Simpson, he's been at his wit's end with Mr. McGough for quite a while now. But with that being said, guys, we will have part 2 for you guys tomorrow, and we'll see how this thing ends up for Mr. McGough. Will they find probable cause on him? Will they not? We shall see. With that being said, this is Sovereign Citizens Hall of Fame, guys. And for now, Sovereign Citizens Court is adjourned. Thank you guys for joining me. Like, subscribe, share. It is much appreciated. See you on the next proceeding. God bless.